This all comes back to the law of attraction. However, our thoughts are magnetizing us to the things we desire. Or is it, I need to save for a rainy day? I need to hustle and grind because there's just not enough for everybody out there. When your attention is fully grounded on what it is you want, the other things will start to fall away. How is everyone doing today, this lovely Thursday? Oh my word, where I am in Ontario, Canada, the sun is shining so brightly. It is gorgeous. So welcome. Today we're going to talk about three different things: interest, attention, and expectation. So how are these things affecting your business? How are they affecting your life? What kind of role are they playing for you? And let me be very clear in saying, yes, they do have an effect on your business. Absolutely, they do. And, maybe not even if you're self-employed, if you're in a career, it has an effect on your income, every your relationships. You can use this in your health. The things that I teach you, yes, we talk about business and business focused, but this is application for all life, because this is how you welcome more abundance and more great things into your life. A power of our thoughts and our thinking really do show up in our life. I watch this every day with my kids. On my coaching call with my clients, we were talking about a story about my son, how he was experiencing a lot of negative thoughts. And then all of a sudden, a bunch of negative things started happening. And it was a direct correlation to when we get focused in on, trapped in something, that starts showing up. And it can show up in your business, your personal life, your health. It can manifest in a lot of different ways. So let's talk about some things to be aware of to absolutely start changing your results. And the first one we want to talk about is interest. So yeah, what are you interested in, right? Let's talk about creation of growth in your business, okay? I'm going to use that as our springboard. So what is important about interest? Why should I have interest? Well, this all comes back to the law of attraction. However, our thoughts are magnetizing us to the things we desire and pulling them into us. So we need to get very interested in what it is we want. There's a really great story about and how our attention is like tuned into it. So there's this gentleman and his wife, and they go for a walk. And he's on this walk, focused on finding these gourds that are prevalent along this trail. And she's interested in finding these really beautiful stones that you can only find along this trail. And so they set off and they go for a walk. And the whole time he's looking down and he's looking for the gourds and she's looking for the stones. And when they were done their walk, they found it amazing that she had all these stones and he had all these gourds. Yet they were on the same trail. And he didn't notice the stones and she didn't notice the gourds. See, it's about attention. It's about, if you're focused in on one thing, that's what's going to start showing up. So when he's thinking, I want to find gourds, and he's looking on the trail, and that's what he's finding, and she's thinking, I want stones, and looking on the trail and finding the stones, the same thing happens for you in your business. I say this all the time. Are you focused on lack of clients? Are you focused on lack of sales? Are you focused on lack of promotion or work or availability within your business or career? Are you focused on lack of love and partnership? Like, think about that. Really think about it. What it is that you're focused on. Because when our attention is geared in on something, we start seeing it everywhere. It's when I ask you if you see red cars driving down the street, and then all of a sudden you start seeing red cars. It's like people who buy Jeeps, and all of a sudden there's a million Jeeps on the road, right? When we bought our truck, we thought, oh, this design is really, nobody else has this. And all of a sudden we started seeing it show up everywhere. Your attention starts picking up on these things that were already there. See, there's an ample amount of abundance and prosperity everywhere. But when we put our attention on either lack and limitation, that's what's going to show up for us. Our interests are what produce our prosperity. So is it joy? Is it health? Is it wealth? Or is it, I need to save for a rainy day? I need to hustle and grind because there's just not enough for everybody out there. This is one, like, why can't your business be? Is the interest in that my business grows easily, I can generate wealth easy? Or is your interest and your focus on how hard growth has to be and how many obstacles you have to do? Are you focused on learning or hard? Are you focused on growth or being hard? Do you understand how this plays into what shows up? It actually limits us. It is the failure that doesn't bring more to us. There's a story of a man who wants to increase his income. He's an electrician, and his interest is to be an electrician. So maybe this aligns with you. Maybe your interest is, you know what, I love what I'm doing, and you should have a desire for it. Because if you do not have an interest for it, it'll fall away. You have to want this. You have to desire this. So he's doing his electrical job. He's earning a good wage for what he does. Service, earning, they match. But he wants more. And how does he get more? Well, he has to dig deeper into his interest of his career in electricity, his electrical career. So he goes back to school and he studies further. He gets further knowledge of it and discovers he can get into radio. And he ends up in a career where he's working in the electrical field, but his 3 times his income. See, his interest didn't change, but his pursuit of it did, which leads us into our next thing, which is attention. A bird has ample supply of abundance everywhere. A bird doesn't worry about where it's going to get its food. It just doesn't. It knows that there's enough. Its attention too is on worms. There are worms. I like worms. I'm interested in worms. And there are worms. So guess what? The bird goes to work and gets the worms. This is like you and I. When our thoughts and our interests are on, I want to grow my business. How do I grow my business? What are ways we can grow our business? And your interest in the growth that you want to achieve and your attention align in a positive way, that's what you're going to start pursuing. That's what you're going to start magnetizing yourself to, attracting yourself to. That's where the alignment comes in. If the bird worried about worms, it wouldn't find the worms. It would be up in the tree thinking, oh no, where did all the worms go? But it doesn't. It knows and it seeks. It seeks them out. The worms aren't put in the bird's mouth. The bird has to go get it. We must use our will every day to move towards those goals. So what is your interest? What is it you want to generate? Is it more wealth in your business? Is it, a bigger team? Is your interest there? Now, is your attention there? Are you putting in daily time to do this with a positive outcome? Remember, if we're thinking, wait a second, we can think with our logical mind, but we can also think with our heart. And if our heart is not putting its full attention there, if our heart does not believe, our subconscious does not believe it, we need to align that. So it's this desire of what we want coupled with daily action. What is it you should be doing to create that? Is it the reach outs? Is it, sales calls? What is it is it going back to school to study further in this area of profession that you want to grow? Right? And even in health, you can, if I really want this, I have to put my attention there. I have to seek it. And so when we put our attention there, we start acting like it. The electrician went back to school because he wanted more. He loved it, but wanted more and knew if he stayed where he was, he would stay stuck at that level. And knew there was more to what he could achieve in this same industry. He just had to tune into it. And the same goes for you and I. If you're feeling stuck in your business, the stuckness, we need to stop. We need to stop that thought of there's not enough, because it's the underlying theme. People come into business and they're like, I really want to do this. I'm excited about it. And then they get going and then they don't know how. But instead of learning, they get caught in the negative cycle of, this is hard. I'm stuck. Look what else that person's achieving. I'm not. And in comparison. And it puts our attention on doubt, fear, and worry. And we actually manifest more of that. It blocks us. We find ourselves procrastinating. We find ourselves avoidance over perfection. We do it all in everything to stop us. It's a block. But if we go from our interest in it in a positive light to attention in doing it, I know I can grow my sales. I know I can grow my sales, and I will do the best that I can every day. No one's asking you to hustle like the world's on fire unless that's what you want to do. What level do you want to receive back? So our attention must portray the thing that we want. We can't say, I want to be a top leader in a company and earn 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures, and then not act like it, not have the actions that go along with it, not put yourself out there to go along with it. See, when you start doing the attention and start doing daily work that you use your will, and some days you're going to need your will. You're going to hold the vision of what it is you want, and you're going to have to rely on your willpower to step in and do the things when it's not days that you want to do it. But guess what? That magnetizes you to that goal that you want. It attracts it even more, because in the law of attraction, that's like a no-brainer. That means, oh yeah, no. This is what she or he want. They're persistent in it. Think of persistence. Think of somebody who's persistent in something. Children are the ideal in persistence. They don't give up. They have their attention, their interest on something, and they're going for it. They know, and they will bug you until they get it. Think about that. How your actions have to be in line with what it is. You have to have that persistence. You need to keep going. And if you only knew that if you kept going, it would produce the outcome you wanted, would you keep going? When your attention is fully grounded on what it is you want, the other things will start to fall away, because your belief is going to start to grow. You're going to create a whole new vibration in your body, and you're going to want it even more. That is going to escalate for you. And the more you see that, the more you want it. And the more you pursue after it, and the more it comes to you. You know, when somebody first starts dating a person, that's not instant marriage. No, it's interest and attention and pursuit. These are all things that work for our business too, for the law of attraction. So then what's left is expectation. A lot of us can dream and hope and wish, but that's where they stay. Those interests stay lodged in our thinking mind. We create the vision boards. We have all these expectations, like, tell me if you've done this, but yet the results aren't there. There's no expectation. Do you truly and really believe that you're at the top if your actions don't align with it either? So understanding your self-limiting beliefs and being able to claw back at those is definitely part of this process. And working on those really, so if you haven't watched some of my other lives, go back and watch those. You have limiting beliefs that are going to block you from your attention, tell you can't in your interests, and tell you to not expect. But if it's full force for you, if you put your mind to it and your heart to it and you work towards it and you focus on it, you create yourself a magnet. And if your expectation goes to, this is mine, it's going to happen. You see, a cat doesn't sit waiting for its mouse prey with zero expectation. A cat is on a hunt, and it knows. It knows the mouse will come, or the bird. That's why it waits patiently. It's expectation. And what does it happen? The cat always gets the mouse. The hunt. You have to have an expectation that this is going to show up for you. Not, oh, I'm working towards it. I'll try. These are actually words of limitation. Trying is not, it's mine. Those are two different vibration levels completely. So if you're going to risk it all and go into business and say, I'm doing this and I will not fail, it is mine. That is an expectation of success. Oh, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Well, that's like an expectation of failure because you're not all in. You're not throwing your hat in the ring. So ask yourself, what are you expecting? Because maybe you have the interest and maybe you have the attention, but do you have the expectation? And these three things go together. It's not one or the other. No, these three things go together. Isn't there a song? Somebody tell me there's a song. There's a story in the Bible of this woman who comes and she says to one of the prophets, I need to get my kids out of, the husband had debt. Okay. She had to pay it off and they had the kids. They were slaves until she could pay it off. And he said to her, what do you have? She didn't have anything. Well, I have a pot of oil, she says. He says, okay, go to all your friends, get all the pots you can possibly find, all the vessels you could possibly find, and bring them home to your house. And then start filling the vessels up with your oil. And only stop when the last vessel is full. She does that, and she ends up with all these pots of oil that she can sell to free her kids. But here's the moral of the story. She got what she expected. If she had collected more vessels and more vessels and more vessels and filled up her house and the next house and the yard down the street, the oil would have continued to flow. How many vessels do you have? Are you collecting 2 or 3? Or you have the mindset that your house is full of vessels, the backyard is full of vessels, that you are the lady filling up the pot. See, we only get what we expect. That's it. You draw it to you depending on how much your expectation is. So this could be your ultimate dream. This could be taking your yearly income and making it your monthly. This could be earning 7 figures. This could be opening the business of your dreams. But here is where you are. You have the interest, you have the attention, but your expectation is only here. You would love this. This is the dream, but you only expect to get this far. And a lot of you are doing this in your businesses. Hands down, you are. You dream of the big stage, of the big reward, of the bigger income, but your expectation is not there, that it is not yours, but it is. It absolutely is. See, prosperity and abundance, it doesn't care who you are. It only cares what you expect. Think about that. Where is your expectation? Is it on growth and prosperity? Or is it on just enough? Just enough to pay that credit card bill. Just enough to make the car payment. And hands down, I bet you it is. Because I talk to people and I coach with people time after time after time again, and their expectation is just to pay off X when they could have had everything. Desire is to expect, and expect is to achieve. I want you to take some time this week and ask yourself the questions of these 3 things. What is that I'm really interested in? It makes me just burn on fire. What do I love? What do I love doing? What am I willing to put my attention there? Am I willing to sacrifice some Netflix time? Am I willing to let go of friends who may tell me it's not possible? Am I willing to let go of that so that I can have further growth in my life? Am I willing to put myself out there? Am I willing to put the attention into this business or into my career or into my health that it deserves? And what are my expectations for it? And truly and honestly answer that. Where do my limiting beliefs lie? How can I get past them? Clarity and awareness are key. And if you need help with that, please reach out to me. This is what I do. I help people get past their limiting beliefs and set incredible expectations and start making shifts because you don't have to stay here. Remember, you can have all this, but you're only expecting this. So thank you very much for joining me today. So blessings. This is Catherine Akima. Bye for now.